We start this part of our journey as we make our way onto the Shropshire Union Canal at Audlem Junction. We slowly make our way up until we reach the turn-off at Hurleston Locks for the Llangollen. We have just turned onto the Shropshire Union Canal. This is Audlem Junction, and there's this lock literally just as you come around the corner, but it's just a stop lock, another one of those historically that were between one canal company and another canal company. And interesting factoid, or not, for those of you who care, is that we've actually been on this chunk of canal before. We took our very first journey 25 years ago, doing the Four Counties Ring, and we picked up a boat at this very spot at Audlem Junction. So yeah, bit of history repeating. Now on a beautiful summer's day, no, spring day still. Sunday morning. Still get, elements to show you're not quite in the countryside, but close enough. Ironically, our mooring last night was a little noisier to start with than the moorings in Birmingham and Wolverhampton, because there were some interesting characters on very loud motorbikes tearing up and down the towpath. But after they'd gone, it was all peaceful and we had a good sleep. Sometimes there's some exceptionally narrow bits, and this is one of them. It's beautiful. Hard not just to take oodles and oodles of film of this because it's so pretty. And we're just coming into Brood. First time we've ever filled up with diesel on a canal boat, because the ones that we hired, we never went far enough. So we've been cruising 3 weeks now. We still had about half a tank left, but this is the cheapest diesel on the cut, so we keep getting told. So it was always our intention to come here and fill her up. We used to only ever filming on beautiful, sunny, gorgeous days. So here's today's reality. We decided to stay moored up in Brood for the day because it's a bit wet out there. We might move on later, depends whether the rain stops. But yes, we're being fair weather boaters. We don't have to move, so we're not going to. Instead, we've had a day inside. Gary's watching YouTube on his phone. Thankfully we have phone reception here. And I'm doing my cross stitch and sewing, so yeah, there it is. Our life on a wet day. So we decided, despite the weather that was a little bit not great, we'll set off and just do a short cruise today, mostly to empty the toilet cassette. I know, but those are the realities of narrowboat life, I'm afraid. So Gary's just turned the boat around in a winding hole and done a masterful attempt, and now we're heading back to Wheaton Aston. So basically we've been on the same stretch of canal now for since Sunday. Yeah, since Sunday. we stopped at Brood for some lunch with Lisa and John. We went down to Wheaton Aston. We had some engine trouble on our way down there, so we had to wait for the engineer from our boatyard to come out to us. Didn't take long really, and he fixed it super quick. It was a very clogged up fuel filter. And then we turned around and came back here, and I've just spent a couple of days not really doing anything, which has been lovely. Walking into town yesterday and having a look around, having lunch in there, and then this morning we decided we weren't really going to move because of the weather, but as I said, it's turned out to be not too bad. So we've just got an hour's cruise back to Wheaton Aston now to moor up for the night before heading on tomorrow. This is our lovely mooring spot not far past this boat, and it's been delightful. Just coming up to a little aqueduct. Quite a fancy looking one though.
Runs over the A5, which is Walking Street, famous Road.
There you go, that was the historian behind me filling you in on that. Zooming by. Setting off from Wheaton Aston again, but this time no immediate intentions to come back this way. Another lovely quiet night, lulled to sleep by a little bit of rain. Fingers crossed there's nothing on the forecast for today. Last night we heard what we thought was rain. It didn't last long. It was just kind of a sudden shower, but quite heavy. We've come out this morning to discover it wasn't rain. It was a poop attack. Obviously we just happened to be underneath the wrong tree, and we did hear the birds this morning. Perhaps they were conspiring. So, just leaving Nosal, if I said that properly. I don't know, correct me in the comments if you like. We just spotted our first kingfisher. Didn't capture it on film, I'm afraid, but we were very excited. The other exciting news is the stoppage that was ahead and not supposed to reopen for another 2 days is open today. It opened yesterday. So we've decided to skip park run this morning and do a longer day's cruise instead, to either get to it or get through it and be on our way. So we've just filled up with water, done the requisite emptying of the Elsan at Norbury Junction. It is weekend, so it looks like a few people are taking out boats for the day. Fingers crossed it'll be a good day. Right to Sydney Canal. We're in the Grub Street cutting. And this is High Bridge we're just coming up to. Which, if you see canal photos, you'll definitely see this one. It's one of those things that lots and lots of people take photos of because it's got this double section where a telegraph line. Is it a telegraph line? Is in the top?
Disused telegraph
Yeah.
pole, top section. You can see where the bridge has been raised because the bottom section used to be where the bridge was.
Yeah. Pretty cool. And pretty high. This is a former wharf where they used to load up the chocolate crumb to take it down to the Cadbury factory in Bourneville via canal. These embankments, you feel the wind a little bit, but it's nice to be looking down on the countryside. Just coming into Woods Eaves cutting. I remember from the last time that we did the Shropshire Union how pretty this was. It can be a bit precarious too though. There have been some landslides since we were here last and the towpath is completely closed because of it. Very narrow in places already. Looks like we've got some boats coming up as well, so better warn Gary down the back about those. Stunning stretch of water though. Didn't film that part because I wasn't sure how it would go, but we just met another boat and there really isn't much room in here. You can just about pass, but only at certain places. Taking it very slowly and easing our way through this one. This looks like a chunk of landslide here. very difficult for the CRT to do much about it as well because of where it is and the type of terrain. Oh yeah, you can see it. Wow. Feel us scraping along the bottom as well. Very tight. Another one there. I think it happened late last year in all the waterlogged UK weather that they had. I'm not exactly sure how you say it. Do you know how you say it? No. Okay, I think it's Tiley Locks. And we thought that this might be the problem because this is where the stoppage has been. So we were told yesterday that the stoppage had cleared, so we thought, yep, should be fine to go. The locks are just behind me. We get to the locks and discover that actually there's a boat stuck in the second lock. A log had managed to get trapped, possibly underneath the boat. Wedging it halfway on its way into the lock. So fortunately the fuel boat came along, absolute hero, and managed to get him out by pulling him, towing him, and also flushing water through from the top pound. Unfortunately, two things happened as a result of that. The pound is now really empty, and one of the paddles is jammed. So the CRT are on their way to try and fix that, and we are waiting here at the top. No point going down the first lock, which is fine, because in the pound between the first and second lock there's about 3 boats waiting, and there's a boat still in that second lock because the paddle won't shut. So yeah, this is boating life. Sometimes you have to hang around and put the kettle on. We were super fortunate. We've just finished at Tiley Locks. There are 5 of them, and super fortunate that the CRT came really quickly and fixed whatever the blockage was that was stopping the paddle from going down. And then there was a queue of boats at either side waiting to come up, so it actually worked out pretty well, and we kind of got help with the locks. So on our way to find a mooring for this evening. Aww, and look at that lovely lady. I think it's a lady having a fish. We're just setting off from Market Drayton, where we've spent the night. Quite nice moorings actually, and very quiet. Clearly very popular. There were lots of boats in last night, and a few more who've joined this morning. The weather. I know English people can talk about the weather all day. I feel like it's definitely a 4 seasons kind of day today. It's actually quite sunny and warm now. We're in t-shirts, but there's a yellow thunderstorm warning for this afternoon. So our hope is that we can get through the first set of locks at Addersley before any of that hits, but we shall see how it pans out. Quite novel, having a housing development with mooring right on your doorstep. Pretty cool, really. Including electric hookup by the look of it. Very nice. Little bit of an obstruction there in the canal. That's rather a large tree. Audlem flight this morning. I wish I could have captured the whole thing on video. It's after having days of it being super quiet and hardly any boats going through. There's now 3 or 4 boats behind us, boats coming in the other direction, a fabulous volunteer lock keeper who's going and helping the flow and helping whoever needs it. And there's also been some great advice from fellow boaters about where to moor, what to see, music festival on in Audlem. Just a great morning. Not sure how well you can see in the distance the rest of our locks, or many more of our locks to do for this morning. I really like the Audlem fleet though. Flight, sorry. I remember last time we did this holiday, I really liked this set of locks. They're just pretty, the scenery's pretty. And what else would you want to be doing on a day like this?
You're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. Alright, yeah, people are strange.
Saying good morning, but good morning. We have left Audlem. We just did the last couple of locks to get out of there. Had a great weekend. So felt really lucky to have been there for the Music and Arts Festival and went to see a few different bands and singers, which you will have just seen on the video. We're not heading too far today. We're just heading to Nantwich, which is a couple of hours cruising. It's not brilliant weather, but it's actually not terrible. I was thinking that this morning and chatting to somebody at the locks. It was a light rain this morning.
Are you talking about the weather again?
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I don't mind the light rain as long as it's not too heavy. Sorry, Gary. This is our mooring in Nantwich. It was was lovely. It was very quiet. It's just very strange because you're on an embankment above the houses. But there's a couple of boats in front of us, but there are boats all the way along last night, so obviously a very popular spot to moor. So as I said, pretty much this whole stretch of canal through Nantwich is up on this embankment, and then it passes over an aqueduct, or through an aqueduct over a road just up here, and that's the road that we walked into town yesterday. It's not very far, a bit over a kilometre. Lovely town. Everything that you could need. The aqueduct. Felt really weird walking along the towpath of this yesterday to get to town. Fascinated by aqueducts. I believe we have a rather large one coming up in a few days. I'm not sure how well you can all see that, but it's a literal parade of boats this morning. Lots of people moored up last night, and it looks like everyone's heading in a similar direction. Lovely horse. There's a sculpture trail along the towpath. Definitely a busy one this morning. Boats coming both ways. This stretch of canal just north of Nantwich is the last bit that we're going to be doing on the Shropshire Union. The Shropshire Union itself keeps going, but we're going to be turning off onto the Llangollen at Hurleston very soon. I think it's fair to say we've enjoyed our time on the Shropshire Union. It's been good this time. Obviously, as I said earlier in the video, we did this 25 years ago, but it's been nice to do it a bit slower so that we could stop and see some of the places along the way. And we're looking forward to being on some new canal shortly.